haven't seen you in so long. Or you yeah, so she just pulled up the business.
That's right.
Here, I'll move over. No, I'm still full time. Still going on.
All right, we could everybody take your seats.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But you know, I'm going to see you for the delegation from the Netherlands.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the end of the month.
All right, well,
Fun time.
welcome back, all you early birds. Thanks for making it in early for the second day, especially since we had 2 drinking sessions last night.
2. One wasn't enough.
One was the wine tasting, and then the real diehards came out to Sophia's for a hackathon, which was
Is that what you call? Is that a hackathon?
that was not a hackathon.
That was not a
That was not a hackathon. That was
Yeah.
I was drinking and having fun with technology. Wow. So what a great first day. Wonderful speakers, wonderful support from industry, and great insights by intellectuals who are working on this from around the world. Really, really exciting stuff. I just can't say enough about how thrilled I am to have all of you here. So today I just want to get things rolling. We've got a nice session coming up in terms of computational modeling, and then we'll kick off some workshops. Right now, I would like to introduce my good friend and co-principal investigator, Tom Tomich. He's been a wonderful support for getting this thing kicked off, and he's going to tell you a little bit about our special guest.
But first, applause for Matthew Lang, who's made this possible. Yes, so I'm Tom Tomich, Director of the Agricultural Sustainability Institute here at UC Davis. And we've got people from all over the world here. And I thought I'd just give a little context. As a native son of California, introduced and adopted daughter of California, our Secretary of Food and Agriculture, Karen Ross. It's widely known that California now is the 6th largest economy on the planet, thanks to the people of England. Actually, it's exchange trading. So you'll get that.
Reliable.
Yeah, but we're bigger than France because of that. But the other part of it, which is not so well appreciated, is that we have a nation-state scale agriculture sector too. We're right up there with France, Italy, even Brazil. So if California were an independent nation, and that's a game we like to play, we would be a heavyweight in food and agriculture on our own terms, which makes it even more amazing that our Secretary of the Department of Food and Agriculture, Karen Ross, is taking time out to join us on election day. So just a little bit about Karen. She is the captain of the ship here in agricultural policy in California. Did I mention it's $50 billion a year, plus or minus? She previously was chief of staff for the current Secretary of Agriculture, Tom Vilsack. And Karen, I very much hope they're not going to lure you away from California tomorrow. We want you here and we need you here. For our purposes here, and there are many things that I could mention, but I just wanted to say that she was also earlier in her career the president of the California Association of Winery Growers. And during her tenure as a leader of that organization, it really launched sort of a modern wave of sustainable ag tech and sustainability and understanding of sustainability standards in California agriculture. We're still riding that wave. We had yesterday in the message from Harold Schmitz mentioned this notion of uncommon collaboration. And I think Karen epitomizes this. And in her bio line, she talks about her strengthening of partnerships across government, academia, and the nonprofit sector with the farming community. And it all sounds very sweet, but in a state where that means land, sometimes valued at $1 million an acre or more, water, I won't even have to say about, and $50 billion a year, it's actually not very sweet all the time. And Karen is a person who is working 24/7, 365. I know because she's called me in the middle of the night to say, very politely, Tom, what the heck were you thinking? So she is a person who brings people together by treating them with respect, taking their concerns seriously, and working across all these boundaries to seek solutions. So we're very lucky to have her leading us.
And remember, I only called you in the middle of the night because you were in England.
I was
So thank you for letting me be here for a few minutes this morning. I was intrigued because I'm still trying to figure out the internet of food. But I thought what I would do is talk a little bit about what we do here in California, which is a place like no other because we have the climate that we have to be able to grow the things that we do, the diversity of it, the bounty of it, the choices of it, and how much of it is done here that cannot be easily duplicated in other states across the country, let alone at many other countries around the world. So, Tom has heard me say this before, I enjoy being very chauvinistic about California because I know what we do here matters and has applicability on the significant issues facing the globe for this century and going into the next one. I say that because I also own a farm in western Nebraska, which is completely different. And when I look at what we ask our farmers to do here by regulation, let alone by what the marketplace is looking for, I am highly confident that we can develop those solutions. And so I've been spending a lot of time lately with farmers who feel that their burden of regulatory reporting is detracting so much from what they're doing on the ground. I always like to meet with people like this to think about those decisions that are happening on the ground that are the beginning of this fabulous food chain that we have. And being partners with them is what we need. Consumers and farmers are often very far apart because there are fewer and fewer farmers in this country, and we know with the drive towards urbanization that's happening around the globe. So how do we fill that gap? And of course it's information. But how do we know that it's information that's meaningful to those consumers? So I look at what we have done in the state of California through regulation. I always prefer to try the market first and let the regulations be about the laggards who have not come into that system. California was the first state to require 100% use reporting for all pesticides used, whether it's in an organic system or a conventional system. And the gathering of that data has driven a lot of other important environmental programs to be ever increasing in its protectiveness of public health and environmental health. And were we not collecting that data based on actual use, as opposed to what labels could allow you to use, we would not be able to make the kind of informed decisions that we have. And we have just recently come out with 2 new regulations, one that prohibits the use of certain pesticides in certain ways around schools, common sense kind of approach. But in a state that has almost 40 million people, that's also the #1 agricultural state, it's a big deal to think about how we are farming on the urban and suburban edge all the time. But I think about what we are doing on a statewide basis on nutrient management. I know that my nutrient assessment and everything, nitrogen, is near and dear to your heart, Tom. What we're trying to do with our irrigated patents program, that is in fact already showing significant improvement in farming practices and how we use fertilizer, by bringing all that information together and measuring what we're doing and understanding the the impacts of that from a farmer perspective, seeing how I can use less, but using it precisely at the right time, the right place, and the right mode, is improving my bottom line and also preventing impacts to the groundwater basin, and being able to capture that information to better inform the rest of the food chain, what's happening with nitrogen fertilizers. That's very, very, very important. When I look at what we've done on air quality, where we've demanded the replacement of dirty engines up and down the valley, which unfortunately on any given day, the Central Valley has the worst air quality in the country, we have absolutely made a difference in improving the air quality to prevent asthma from occurring in the Central Valley. We've done it with cost share dollars, and the farmers have gotten improved performance as a result of that. In our drought, we have provided cost share dollars for on-farm water use efficiency, which is the smartest thing to do. We also know that on-farm water use efficiency has made a dramatic difference in the production and processing tomatoes in the state. It's improved its quality, it's lowered the inputs, and it is a crop that at one time we didn't think we'd have that much longer. It's now one of our top 10 crops in the state of California. So somewhere in all of this information that we're generating as a result of regulations, we know there is benefit, but how do we know that it's equally beneficial to the consumer, to the buyer, and to the farmer? How do we create that connectivity for everyone to get value out of that information? How do we know we're asking for the right information, measuring it at the right place so that it's meaningful and not just an information tab, not just a paperwork exercise that's meaningful? I think because of the work we're doing in California on climate change, we are to a point in time of transformation. I am proud to work for a governor that not only says you can talk about climate change, that doesn't happen with all governors in all states, shockingly enough. But in this state, we talk about it, and we are absolutely spending 24/7 trying to do what we can, and we believe we can be influential, and we've already seen that on the global stage. We have, most excitingly, under our scoping plan for the next 20 years of what our climate strategies will be, we have included a pillar, a strategy around natural working landscapes. That puts agriculture and land management in the center of being part of the solution. Carbon sequestration. And although it's a modest start, we have now $7.5 million to start the first statewide Healthy Soils Initiative. This is an initiative that goes across government through all of our state agencies when we think about how much land we manage as a state. And it is a $7.5 million program to partner with landowners for on-farm practices to improve soil health. So that sounds great, doesn't it? We're going to improve carbon sequestration. We're going to measure carbon in our soils. We're going to be part of the solution. Wouldn't it be great if there were an easy-to-use, real-time decision diagnostic tool to say, this is healthy soil? Do we have all that? When we think about, I spent yesterday at the Lawrence Berkeley Lab, and a lot of it was exciting stuff, especially for an English major with all of the scientists. But how many times I've heard these people who spend their life on this kind of thing talk about there's so much that's not yet known. It is an exciting new frontier for us. What's beneath our feet? Soil and groundwater. These are extraordinary times, and these are the critical issues facing California. So how do we gather the information? How do we know that we're accurately telling the story? Do we have a good baseline? No, we don't have a baseline now on the inventory of carbon in our soils. How precise does that have to be? We can do a lot with satellites. Is that going to be precise enough for getting that baseline to measure what we're doing to improve soil health? To make sure that all those generations that will come after us will have the opportunity to feed themselves, not just with calories to survive, but with nutrition to thrive. I think the work that we're about to undertake on a statewide basis here, and knowing the excitement around soil health that's happening globally, I think this is the most exciting opportunity we have before us. And what I hope we all think about in settings like this is all of the contiguous big ideas that we remember they have to work on the land. They have to work and have applicability to the smallest grower and the most remote settings, as well as to the most sophisticated growers. We think about these people as managers of our land, as huge caretakers of our ecosystems, that they're doing more than just harvesting a crop. There's that whole suite of services that come out of that well-managed land. How do we capture that information in a meaningful way so that it actually measures accurately what we're doing and demonstrates the value of that, so that we are partnering with those landowners all the way through to our consumer. That is probably the most important thing we do here, is close that gap. I love that consumers today want to know where their food comes from. They want to know how it's produced, and they want to know who's producing it. I sat in a meeting last week with a group of very innovative thinkers talking about how we in California, with this wonderful California grown brand, can do the documentation and the certification from a state perspective that would be acceptable to all. And I was warned it's too late, that every brand, every buyer is investing in their own third-party certification. And the audit fatigue on the part of farmers is very real. So as you think through this exciting idea of the Internet of Food, I hope that you are very mindful of the grower at the ground level, the manager of that land, the caretaker of our ecosystem, the people who love what they're doing, want to do the right thing, and sometimes feel removed from everything that's coming at them from the other perspective. As we do this Internet of Food, I'm excited about the opportunity for farmers and ranchers, their employees who are on the front line of food safety, that they feel a part of the development of this, that they see the value of this, and that they get to use this as a tool that will improve their practices and be a cycle of continuous improvement, which is what farming is about every day, every year. So I thank you for giving me a few minutes. I would love to, hearing about yesterday, I don't know if you got it recorded, but I'd love to hear that. It's just, it's so nice to come to campus and just be about honest intellectual stimulation that's not polarized as it is in my world. So I'm jealous of you, and I wish you a great conference, and I hope this is the first time many to come.
Thank you so much, Secretary Ross. That was really, really fantastic. And you're absolutely right that the grower, the people who are the stewards of our land and our natural resources, they need to be part of this. They need to be part of this in a huge way. And in order for that to happen, we need to be able to return value to them for everything that we're building. And I think that's a really important part. And as we move forward in designing a language to talk about food, I think it's going to be necessary for us really to talk about how do we make language that can be used so that growers and food companies can be competing to be more sustainable, so that they can be competing to deliver healthier food. Because consumers are demanding. So on the one hand, consumers are demanding and putting the tools in place for the producers and the processors to be able to compete on those fronts, align their economic goals with the goals of improving health and sustainability. accountability. And at the same time, enabling traceability, transparency, and ultimately trust. Because a lot of people don't trust whatever comes from there. So it's also great that you spoke about soils, because that tees up our next speaker, who I'm delighted to invite to the stage. And he will moderate this next session. Our next speaker is John Ingram from Oxford University, where he is the Food Systems Program Leader at the Environmental Change Institute. Just to give you a little bit of background about John. In 1991, he was recruited by the UK's Natural Environment Research Council, or NERC, to help organize, coordinate, and synthesize global change and agroecology. Fast forward to today, and he has been appointed the NERC Food Security Leader and Food Systems Program Leader within the Environmental Change Institute at Oxford University. And the reason I mentioned that it was your segue was okay. What's good is that's your training.